They said they declared North Carolina a state of emergency. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
It's about up where Durham is or somewhere. They flooded out everything.
Texas did too.
I ain't worried about Texas. We live in North
I
Carolina.
know. But it's where the hurricane went.
So, anyways, I just thought I'd mention to you.
That's fucked up. It's not like the government's gonna come help. If they do, you run anyway. Right? Right. I noticed that we're just kind of like talking about it instead of walking through it. Oh, I keep forgetting the stats. I'll just have that as an intersection first thing. Open studio. Then transfer. Because you have to have the login. The 2FA. So next. Patreon, which is like very unknown to me. I'm just gonna put learn more program. It only gives me 30 minutes to do it, so let's see. Why is Etsy in socials when it's already in seller? I'm actually gonna add Kick. No, because then I have to add the live sites. Forcing myself to utilize more digital than old school. I guess I could put the notes section as the build out for each one. And then just keep the notes in the paper book and transfer over to the calendar like I've been doing. Okay. So trying to get it in order in my mind without anybody else's assistance is very difficult. It's like I'll get on a really great, awesome, I can feel it working, it's working great, and I know exactly what each step of it is, and it's like my brain goes down this pathway and then all of a sudden it just fucking falls off a cliff somewhere. And I can't even remember what the hell I was doing. I have no idea what the thought process was that I was just on. It's almost like the idea and the concept just, the bridge that I was walking on just floated away and I'm still standing there like, well, shit, how do I get back to that thought? Like, you've gone on a hike and you're coming back and you cross the bridge that you already crossed before, and like, Like, yeah, I'm going to write all this stuff down when I get back to my car. And then the bridge is gone. So you're like, shit, how do I get back to the car? And then you have to like find a new way to get back to that specific point. And it's like a whole, like you have to go a mile downriver to cross another bridge or some shit and come back. So now you're like 2 miles out of the way kind of thing, just to come back to the original thought that was just right there. It's right there. So, struggle is really all. So, and I write stuff down, but I can't remember why I wrote it down. And that's another reason why I keep this book, is because keeping up with your memories and keeping up with your thought processes is very difficult when you have a lot of things on your mind at the same time. Even if your even if your reality is slow, it's nothing really happening in your reality. A lot of times just in our heads, even if nothing is happening externally or nothing that you can see happening, our thoughts are racing in a million different directions, right? So this is how I keep up with all that shit. I try to. And I'm just trying to get my thoughts clear enough to put it on paper. That in itself is a feat. I feel like once I get this going, I just gotta get the base going. Baby step shit. When they say like, oh, I built this by scratch. Others have no idea how much work and effort and energy you put into that. So to them, it doesn't matter. They don't have the memories with it. They don't have the effort and energy that they put into it. That's your energy. So for the most part, other people are not going to see that. They're not going to see it as wonderful as what it is to you, because they didn't create it themselves. Or maybe vice versa. Somebody sees something that you created and thinks it's the most coolest thing in the whole freaking world and can't live without it. You know what I mean? Not saying this specifically, I'm just saying in general. So, for those of you who can follow along with what I'm saying and what I'm doing, kudos to y'all, because I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. So, I don't know why I wrote Etsy up there in socials. I think this was when I was still building it out in JPay. But I do need to add a section for the live. So I'm thinking sometime between morning messages and morning routine, adding each one on the live platforms, but which ones go live? Because I want to be able to tell you guys the stats and stuff for each one of them, so this way you guys know which ones that it is specifically that I need each area in. Naturally, whenever you're trying to promote yourself, you're going to want to explain each avenue, right? Or just try to get your name out there, or whatever it is that you're doing. So that communication is lost a lot of times. So, but your people will come to you, and even if those who don't fully understand you, if you vibe the same, so be it. So for this, I really don't know what I'm going to put here. But if I leave it blank, that's okay, because it gives room for creation. So I am going to mark at least highlight of some sort Etsy and JPay for socials. Because I'm going to put a question mark there too, because I don't understand why that was even in there. Or why it's still in there, I should say. That's probably just something I missed along the way. So, alright, I'm going to cancel that out. So that leaves a good chunk of nonsense. Excuse me. I always burp, and I don't know why. It's so rude and like gross, but I do. And I don't even know where the hell the air is coming from. It's not like I'm eating, or like, it's not like I'm drinking a bunch of soda. It's not like I'm eating gassy foods. This is literally water with flavoring in it and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But I burp all the time. I don't know why. I don't mean to. I just do. I try not to make like a big deal about it unless I'm around Jeff, and then I try to competition. But I think I've done that for a while now, and I don't know why. Okay, so we're into Friday, right? Yeah, Friday. And we're just building in the calendar. So for those of you who don't understand what's going on right now in the stream, sorry. We're currently building out a unschooling calendar for the stream as well as like everyday life, and then I'm also going to be selling this as a product, and I'm going to be showing in the background also how to build that out once that time comes. So, you know, if you're interested in that at all, kudos. If not, whatever. Enjoy the random silences and talking about nonsense. So, all right. So Friday, we are into Facebook. Now, mind you, with the new algorithm changes, we're going to have to look at what socials we're really going to be, because it's going back to that like multi-posting and the multi-streaming and just basically all of everything all the time, you know. And I don't want you guys to think that you personally have to put a ridiculous amount of energy into this, because remember, it's a light touch. We're just do. That's it. Pull away, go to the next one. Do. Next one. Do. Next one. All different content, all different angles. Remember, the lives are different angles, because they're going to start going through all of your socials and looking for static information, because it's going to look like AI, and a lot of these sites are blocking that. So for those of you who are doing like social media or any kind of internet anything, they're going to be looking at whether or not you're actually using AI, or if you have a static. When I say static, I mean like just like a picture with a couple of words on it, or like music in the background. They don't want that. Okay. They want to see you. They want to see your surroundings. They want to see movement in the video, in the picture. They want to see outside. This is AI gathering data in the background anyways. So the more that you're authentic and you're living your life and doing your everyday, that's what this whole social media thing is going for now. Yes, I know AI is very inundating in every aspect of all things that we're doing, but I think they are, for the most part, a lot of the social media is going to leave it more human than AI. And that is because of the data recording that they're needing. So think of it this way. If you're going to war with something, you have to know more about it, right? So basically, because of the AI algorithm that changed, everything, all social media, all internet, everything's changed now. And all of your electronics are going to be AI embedded. So think future forward of what is it that the AI is looking for, because that's the only thing that's going to get you to move forward in human world, right? So And it's going to get you more exposure by being authentic, because they're going to want more of that information. They're going to want more of that data. They're going to want the background view. They're going to want the faces. They're going to want, the layout of wherever it is in whatever angle that you're in. That's what they want. That's the whole reason why this is all being pulled in anyways, right? So run with it. Utilize it in a way that's going to be beneficial for you. And if you have the ability to make it beneficial for others, like what I'm doing right now, I'm telling you all about it. So think future forward, even if it's just for yourself, and even on a baseline, even if you don't even add socials to this, even if you're not an internet person, you can still utilize this PDF as a regular everyday kind of thing. Just because I talk a lot about socials and stuff like that doesn't mean that you have to do that. It doesn't mean that you have to put the information that I'm giving you in a social topic. You can put it in business. You can put it in your personal life. You can put it with your friends or your family, or even yourself. Self is always first. So, yeah, I mean, you don't have to just take whatever the information is that I'm telling you. Just utilize the information in a way that's beneficial for you. I forgot what I was saying. All right, so back to, like I said, socials for right now. I know it's a very heavy, I've been talking about it a lot lately. It's only because it's a really heavy topic right now in most of the news and stuff like that. Social news, I should say. So yeah, if you can, probably the next set of stickers that I'm going to be getting for my stream is probably going to be my Linktree code, and I'm going to get a shit ton of them, and I'm going to be putting them every fucking where. Low. Not up high. Low. There's a reason for it. I have said this in previous streams before, but AI is going to be in vehicles. It's going to be on bicycles. It's going to be on scooters. It's going to be out in the world every single day, right? As you're walking with your phone and scrolling through, it's scanning the ground. It's scanning you and your background. So in background programs, right? So as much as you can put your Linktree or your QR code out into the world today, that's how much you're going to be able to get your information out there and be able to ride that little AI wave into your success. Because remember, it's pulling that data in the background. Whether someone clicks on it or not, you don't know yet. But when they finally do, it's going to pull up every single bit of information that's attached to that. Okay? So think about it like that. For those of you who are business owners, run with it. Okay? You will thank me later. Maybe 5 years from now, but you'll thank me later. So, and really, you never know how far you'll go until you take that first step, for real. And sometimes that first step is a leap of faith in believing what somebody else is telling you when they are looking at the possibilities of what the future outcomes are, according to what's happening in the world today and the way that the path of most things are going. It's all corporatized. It's all umbrellaed. Okay. So, an AI, like I said, is going to be in everything. It's going to be in your fridge. It's going to be in your hair dryer. It's going to be in your mirrors. It's going to be in... We always thought we were going to end up living in Microsoft homes, which is basically the same thing. So if you don't know what a Microsoft home is, I suggest you look it up. It's a completely digital home that you live in. So it already knows everything about you, opens the door for you when you're walking up, orders groceries for you, pulls out lists for you, does everything for you. And remember, please, the more freedom that you think you have is the less that you actually have. So keep that in mind. Also, all of this stuff is really brand new and great. But what happens with most things? They break down. And with instant gratification, that AI breakdown is going to have to go back to the manufacturer now to be fixed, which you'll be replaced with a brand new one almost instantly. But that other one is going to bring all that data back. It's already have it back because of the internet. But now it's got all of that stuff and possible recordings. So if you think that privacy is a real thing anymore, you're sadly mistaken, because we're constantly being watched at all times, not just on ground level now. They're currently working on Wi-Fi watching from the ground up, all those wonderful cable lines that they put in the ground, as well as we're being watched by satellite down. All the cameras that are on the light posts are recording at all times. Not just voice, but visual also. So use that, you know? Fight the man. And see how it does. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely wrong. But maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm onto something that nobody really even thought of before. And maybe because of that independent thinking, the imagination that I have, maybe because of that, it will cause some kind of ripple effect in the world. You never know. So, if anybody was listening to me last week about Nvidia and Amazon, I already told you guys which stocks to buy right before they hit that peak. 3 days is what I said. Go back and look. I should have put my own money in them where my mouth was, right? But anyway. So yeah, what are we working on? We're working on Facebook. Because, you know, it's boomer land, but, you know, it's still there. So we have our posts. I currently have the fan page, which is attached to the IG. So fair warning, the IG and the fan page are the same. I haven't gotten to the point of individually posting on there yet. So post Facebook fans page. Post story. I don't know if I can go live on that one, but I'll put a question mark next to it. Monetized. Question mark. What more requirements does Facebook have? I think that's pretty much it. Let's just run with that for right now. Oh, this next Friday is my mom's birthday. That's cool. 8 a.m. No, 9 a.m. 8 a.m. Nope, not 8:30. Oh, this thing is like fighting me. Close that so I can save this. All events forward. Okay, so 8:30 Friday. More options. Pinterest. Pinterest, we learned that we can utilize that as a wonderful way to promote ads and possibly promote social media as well. Pinterest, promote ads and socials. And I don't know about with links. I'm going to put that in parentheses because I know that there are certain requirements for certain sites to have linkages from other websites. Be aware of that. That's probably going to go across the board with all socials. Now, for right now, they're kind of webbing together because, you know, social media is super strong, but it's branching off into the accessory, right? Because the sale's never in the sale. It's in the accessory. So just like the video game console companies, right? They eventually kind of linked up because they're like, oh shit, yeah, people are getting pissed that we can't play games across freaking platforms. So they did have like this now internet world where all people could play at all times, right? So they're going to have like some kind of evolution happen. Right now there's the AI evolution that's happening. So they're continuing that linkage. But as time goes by, there's going to be more rules and regulations that you're not going to be able to meet across the board. So keeping light touch information every single day for each one of those is going to help you be able to keep up with those changes. And again, this is only like maybe like 5 minutes of your whole entire day. Granted, yeah, not everybody is into that, but for those of you who are and are heavy into it, that 5 minutes might mean the whole rest of your week. So, and it could mean your biggest sales. It could mean the greatest change in your own personal life or something. Like, you don't know, just as bad as anything could be is just as good. So, promoting ads and socials with links, I don't know. We'll leave it at that. And I am going to save that as a repeater for Fridays. Another thing actually that I can add to that, since I already am in it, is create a Fashion Saturday in board. Because I can get inspiration from that as well, not just from the Google or a set of master lists. So, okay, so I'm just going to save that. All events. I think it was 8:30 to 9:30. No, 8:30 to 9. Sorry. All right, all events. I need to find a way to share a page on this thing. All right, 9 a.m. We're working into... Okay, so the possibility of Reddit and Quora was there. I'm not real heavy into Reddit and Quora because of the fact that the platform itself is kind of awkward to me, personally. I see it more as a promotional site because it's more of a questions, like a topic site. So I could vlog topic in a sense, maybe, right? But I don't really know it that well. So I'm going to put Reddit and Quora on here with a question mark to learn more about the program because of the fact that I'm not that into it yet to understand it enough to be able to utilize those programs. So, and again, this is part of the whole continuing to learn, continuing to get information, see what works for you, see what doesn't work for you, take it out if it doesn't, leave it to the side for future reference. Don't get rid of it completely because, maybe it's not, the time's not right now. Maybe it might be later that it'd work better for whatever it is, because your evolution is going to happen too. Like during all of this, your evolution is going to happen. So keep that little bit of like leaning room, like I was saying about pivoting. Give yourself a little bit of leaning room during your evolution to look back at old things that didn't work before. Maybe they might work now, or things that were working that don't work now, and why. So that way you can kind of build off of everything a little bit smoother. So I'm just going to put learn more about till 9:30, repeats every week. Okay. And I'm going to leave space for between that and Amazon because for Fridays I don't really have anything. I did have previously other stuff written down, but I didn't transfer that over to this specific one because I literally just printed this out. So I'll have to go back and double check and fill in more as I go. Like I said, the transfer is going to happen for an entire week plus the build out from the last week. So this next week, we're going to be really looking and remember this entire month, we're diving deep into all of this and making it as smooth of a transition as possible. Because if I'm building out my own personal schedule, right? And I am creating my own business, I am creating what the future of whatever this is, right? I have to have it in a way that I can physically do it, that I can maintain it, right? So, because if you just bite, and just keep biting, you're going to end up getting sick and puking it all up, right? No offense, but like it's going to happen. Eventually, your body just can't handle it. Same thing with work. When you do so much, you're going to have to take a period of time to do for yourself. If you don't, your body's going to force you to do that. You're going to end up getting really bad sick because your body knows that you're doing too much of something. So that's why another reason why I say, a lot of us are just, for the most part, a lot of us have regular daytime jobs that are full-time or part-time or whatever. And, there's a good chunk of this period of day that ends up being removed from this. So this is not feasible for all people, right? The thing is, though, is if you light touched on all of these things, even for a few minutes a day, this actually is feasible for you. It's just your time management. So, and for those of you who have a regular everyday job, for the most part, unless you have people in the background, you can record your job. Another aspect to look at too for regular everyday jobs, not just because of the AI takeover, because we were so worried about immigrants, right? The computer takeover has already started. So I hope that those of you who are business owners, although AI seems wonderful and great and the answer for everything, it is not your salvation. I hope that there's a lot of companies that are hybrid companies, where you still remember to be a human being and you still remember that human beings need to survive, and that, it's not all numbers. It's not all numbers. So let's put the heart back in corporate. A little bit more every day, right? Keeping your individuality is what's going to make you stand out in the future. So try to be yourself as much as possible. Even if it's weird, even if it's quirky, even if people don't understand you. There's a lot of people in this world that don't understand me either. And I know that, and that's fine. They may never understand me. Or why I do what I do, I don't know how many fights I've had with people about me doing something that they didn't understand the whole behind the scenes and thought processes of why I was doing what I was doing. And then when they find out later, they're like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. If you give me a minute. So, anyway, not every bit of information is for you to know, damn it. maybe the reason why for the most reason why I do anything, even if it's been the wrong thing, it's for other people. It's always been for other people. So when I started doing things for myself, it changed the whole fucking game. It just changed everything. It changed my perspective. It started making me realize that, some people were worth it and some people weren't. And there are certain things that I, to this day and forever, will consistently wish and hope for. Whether they actually come true or not, I have no idea. So, try to do the best you can every day. And no, not everybody has the same opportunities. Someone else's path, you may not understand it. So maybe their behaviors you're not going to understand because you're not going to have all that information. You're not going to have the why behind, right? So I need you to remember yourself and why you are here. I need you to remind yourself of why you're continuing to go forward, or why you feel like you can't go forward. Let's find a solution for this. Not in a negative way. You don't want to hurt yourself, you don't want to hurt others. Those are my two main rules in existence, as much as possible. And just try to make sure that the energy that you're giving is quality over quantity. There's some people that are going to come across your path that are going to seem like the greatest thing in the world. And other people are going to tell you, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And they might be right. But sometimes they're wrong. And sometimes you just have to follow your own path. And yes, it sucks when people leave your life. It sucks when you fight so freaking hard to protect the ones that you love for it to fail. And to basically be thrown back in your face like it's a joke. There's going to be people that you're going to have to decide as to whether or not you want them in your future, based on whether it was the history or current or where you're going. Maybe they can't go with you. Maybe because of, the universe saying so, ultimately, or by you saying so. Because like I said, same thing with your body. If your body knows that there's something bad in your life, it's going to try its damnedest to get rid of it, right? It's going to fight for survival. Same thing with everyday life. You're going to have to get rid of certain aspects of your life so this way you can move forward. Like toxic people and places that you don't really belong in.
Yeah.
You'll start to learn this as you get older.
Mm-hmm.
And experiences. You don't have to be old to be knowledged, okay? You don't have to be old to have wisdom. You can be young and really fucking smart and understand the world more than an adult would. None of us can actually read minds yet. So, I'm sure the government does. Anyway, just kidding. Not really, but So, just take a half day at a time. Just keep breathing. That's all you can do. Until you can't no more. So, next Friday is my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Ma. Really? For those of you who don't always have like the greatest relationship with your parents, including my own children with me and me with my parents, I hope that you find a way to make things work for you. I hope that you find an easy medium between all of the nonsense and the feelings. I hope that you get as much therapy or help as possible, even if it is self-help, finding your own ways to cope and handle and manage emotions, when they come up. And sometimes it's really hard to handle those things. So, take time. You're going to need to take time to talk about the things, that bother you. You're going to have to take time to learn the coping mechanisms and the ways that other people are going to be able to comprehend you and your actions and what you're saying. Because what we think is one thing. In our minds, we all, have our own thought processes and everything. But when you're trying to communicate, especially emotions, it's very difficult because those two parts of the brain don't communicate with each other. There is that zero lack knowledge in between there, no communication. So when you're trying to express how you feel, especially when it's like trauma or past experiences, it's really hard to be able to express that in a way that's comprehensible to other people, even myself. I've learned this a lot in the past 6 months in this relationship that I'm in, because of the fact that, you know, I'm in a different setting. I'm in a different scenario with someone that does not fight. They don't fight. So for me, coming from a background of having to constantly either defend myself or feel like I need to be in a combat mode all the time, or if, especially with my kids, like feeling like I have to protect them at all times, coming down from that constant survival mindset, it's hard to settle into this energy of, stability. Starting to. The first slight ice cream lick taste of it. You know what I'm saying? So, and I mean stability in a sense of being able to start to understand myself a little bit more, because I'm recognizing patterns. I'm recognizing things that I am doing. He's mirroring back to me things that I'm starting to become more aware of about myself, and seeing the connections with the world around me or the people that I have been around, and my reactions to them, or their reactions to me that I may or may not have ever really understood. Same thing for my reactions to y'all, or actions, not just reactions, but actions in general. A lot of times, I give grace for a lot of people, even when they've done me really, really wrong. And I know that not a lot of people believe in that or think in that manner. I've gone above and beyond for a lot of people in my lifetime, and people have gone above and beyond for me. There's been a lot of bad people in my life, and there's been a lot of good people in my life. And thank you for the ASMR background noise for the waterfall, Jeff. That's great. I love it. I'm not saying specifically that it was any one person that got me to understand different levels about myself, so that way I can become the person that I'm becoming. I just know that, like the old saying goes of it takes a village to raise a child, it takes a universe to raise a soul. And you have to have those experiences. You have to have those inner connections with other people or events happen, so this way you can start to learn more about yourself and where you want to go. So just, light touch it. Take what you can. Don't do like I did and eat the whole cake at once. Take it in little licks along the way. You know what I mean? Like, how many licks does it take to get to the core of who you are before you can finally start to move forward? So, maybe Saturday. Enough of that nonsense. Saturday is Fashion Saturday. It is a make content day. I put that there so this way because of the fact that, like I said, I need time to make the content. But another aspect that I needed to look at too, like I said, as far as Fashion Saturday's like wardrobe build out, I needed more time to take the pictures of the items, to upload them to whatever it was, and all this background noise, right? when there's people online that are live that are selling their items every 3 seconds. So it's like, which do you choose? Do you choose to have, the baseline of what you already know, which is common, right? Because you have that baseline right there. You can just go ahead and add that to it, as well as going live. Whatever is sold from your live anyways, so it's going to be sold out of your shop. It's just whether or not you're willing or capable to share your information. And I have all my information in my About Me section, so, and in my link tree. Hey. What are you doing?
Nothing. I just took the wash out of the laundry out of the washer and put it in the dryer. Put the other things up.
Thank you.
I'm watching you.
I noticed. I hope you do. Keep watching. So yeah. So make content, edit is another thing that I forgot to add in here too. Editing, if you're into doing that, but for real, it's mostly just making ads or clipping for shorter videos. So I'm going to put in editing, ad making, and clips. Yeah, because a lot of people are like 2-timing their videos, 2 or 3 timing their videos, which is super funny because it makes you sound like a chipmunk. It's like a freaking auctioneer talking, especially on like TikTok or YouTube. I've noticed a lot of people like 2-timing their videos. So I'm not sure if it's also leaning more towards anti-AI, but who knows? It might work. Let's see. Where is it going with this? 9:30 repeats Saturday. Let's see. Okay. I'm actually going to make that for the whole hour this time instead of... Yeah, because it's going to take a while to edit that shit on each one of the platforms. Hustle. So, morning messages, 5 a.m. All events. 5:30 is the lives. I'm going to put that in big letters because I'm having multiple platforms. So the live sites are Facebook, Twitch, for me at least, Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, Kick. I just started doing that. Because remember, we're looking at the multi-posting, multi-streaming, as well as being able to gather the information from all of those to cross-reference. Okay, so Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, Kick. Where else do I go live? Oh, gosh. There was... Okay. So that's for your everyday streaming, right? But there are seller sites that you can go live on also. Actually, you can just go live the entire time on all of them. Okay. Going back, parentheses, brackets. We're getting serious now. Funny looking bracket. Seller sites. Amazon. Whatnot. eBay. Etsy. I feel like I'm missing something. That's what I mean about like trying to remember everything from every angle. It's so freaking hard. I have a learning disability and I have a really hard time like trying to stay focused on certain things. So my mind kind of just bounces all over like a fucking... Too many firings in the brain almost. Okay, so Etsy is another one. I'm just going to put this for right now. Remember, I can continue to build off of this as I go. So I'm leaving that. I'm going to put it on repeat daily. 5:30 to 6 every day. I'm just throwing it on the freaking board. Whether it sticks or not, I don't know. We're just getting it on the board. So already the entirety of this calendar has completely changed just in the past hour. So, yeah. If it comes down to the point where this becomes your life, like your actual, like you get sponsored by someone and you can actually make this like your everyday, then you already have something to work with. You already built out your schedule. You already know what you're doing. So, hey, sponsors. I'm just kidding. So, I'm not kidding. But, so yeah. Okay, so there's that for Saturday. Sunday. That's where schedules can go. Sorry, I didn't mean to like jump like that. Schedules, print out this week. All right, so there's gaps on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Thursday's got a big gap. All right, so I'm going to leave those gaps there because it's going to leave room for creation in the future. I know that there's certain things that I am not. I know that there's important things that I could put in here, but I can't remember off the top of my head what exactly they are. But when they come to me, I know that I'll be able to go ahead and add those in there. I have 4 slots specifically open during the course of the week that I can actually go ahead and add that information in there. I just don't know what I'm going to put where. This. So I'm trying to keep it as smooth of a transition every single day as possible. So this way I can just walk, like do my natural, what I would normally do, right? Because the 24 hours is now the hour. Every hour. On the hour. For 24 hours. Infinitely. So just record everything. Everything. Because you're going to get all of your stuff from the recordings. So, what I can do is go back through my recordings that I already have and utilize that content for future references. You know, if you don't have content this week, like, oh shit, I've been sick all week, and I don't know, whatever reason that you want to say, you just don't feel like doing anything. You just go ahead and take old content, turn it into ads, ad post the whole week, and get some new followers and viewers and stuff. Especially if you're those of you who go live all the time, instead of saying like, oh, I'm sorry I didn't go live today, post the old video. Sugar-free cookie. Looks just like the real thing. I'm trying to help myself out here. It's not working very well because this stuff is horrible. My body craves the nonsense. Alright. I don't remember where we were. So today, the reason why I say, for example, like what I'm doing, what I'm trying to build, is every 30 minutes there's something different. Because in the streams, you guys don't even want to watch for 15 minutes. I'm sitting here scrolling for 2 hours or streaming for 2 hours or more. Most people aren't going to want to sit here and listen to me talk the entire time. So, best way for me to do this is to take little clips of old videos that I have and make those my new ads. Make it to where I can use those clips in stories across your social media, pictures from screenshots if you have to, from your videos. Technically, I can pull all my OOTDs from my videos. And that's what I'm saying, is that if you're recording, like say for example, if I had all day to stream, right? Like say I didn't just stream for 2 hours. Say I streamed all day long, did one of those 24-hour, 30-day things, right? I could take 30 minutes of every single section that I do and turn it into little 30-minute clips. And each one of them will have their own separate topic. Each one of them will have a different point of view or clothing or background or whatever, right? Because I don't always stream in the same place. Now, mind you, for the past couple months I have, but in the past, I didn't. So, but most people don't know about that. They just know me from what they know me now, right? Which has changed a lot over the years. So why not utilize all of the stuff, all that effort and energy that you already put into all of your stuff from the past, especially the past 5 years. If y'all been streaming for the past 5 years, you have the next 10 years worth of content already. So, hear what I'm saying without words? Do it. I'm actually going to call that the next generation. All right. This is my future referencing for, boomers, Gen X, whatever you want to call it. The next generation is the do it generation. Hear me out. Everybody's talking about blowing up the world. The next generation's just going to be in that mindset and that personality of, then fucking do it. Do it. You want to get rid of your president? Do it. You want to get a college degree? Do it. You want to move to another country? Do it. That's just how it's just how they are. They're just like right then. They don't even care. They don't give a shit anymore. They're just like, fuck it. Like, if you guys are going to keep talking about it, you know what I mean? So, it's horrible. But, yeah. Anyway. So, clips and screenshots go into the editing. Also, don't forget vertical and horizontal streaming overlays for different programs like Snapchat, TikTok, I think YouTube, and others that are going to be vertical. I am currently looking into the vertical overlay for the Streamlabs, but I'm not real sure how that works. So, for the live part of it. Oh, did that not take? Wait a minute. Okay, so it started next week. Okay, it didn't take it into this week. For some reason, I kept adding it to one specific day, evidently. All right. So we have morning messages, live sites, morning routine, wardrobe, content, schedules, seller sites, house chores, unschooling, electives, or no, daily schedule, unschooling, electives, gym, thrifting, supper, cleanup, nightly routine, power downs. For the most part, that's pretty much the layout. Okay, so it's changed since yesterday. But yeah, that's pretty much the layout now. Now, mind you, I try to keep talking about this all within like 2 hours or so, maybe 3 or 4 at this point. I don't even know anymore. But I also stated that starting this month, we're going to be doing more action than talking. So, like I said, we're going to be taking the next 5 months in review as for pushing this towards an actual goal. Okay. So, hopefully that helps. Me leaning into Twitch for hours on end is based off of what the way that it was when I first started was that you were paid off of ads. So I streamed as long as I possibly could, so this way I could have the ad payments, right? Well, the ad payments are not very much. So, like maybe a penny or two a day, maybe 4 cents a day. And over a period of time, that only ends up being like a couple cents a month or a week or whatever, right? I don't, if y'all know about any sites that are more instantly paid or more paid from, let me know. I'm still looking into the TikTok seller side. I did actually order a couple of samples to be sent. We'll see how that goes because I've never done a review video in my life, so we'll see. Couldn't be much harder than this. Anyway, so yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do for today. And I have to go charge my phone because I'm gonna be going to the gym after a while, and I want to make sure I have phone service because I didn't like it the other day when I went. I didn't have headsets or anything. I couldn't listen to my music, but I did go live. So for those of you who follow me on TikTok, here lately I've been kind of going live for a few minutes while I'm on the treadmill because you can't like really like fully stream through there. You know what I mean? You have privacy policies and stuff like that. And plus the editing for that's going to be insane if I even try to. So, which you can't really do it live anyways. So, let me know what you think about that. It's just like I said, it's more for accountability. You know, I've been talking about, we've been talking about trying to lose weight here this week when we did groceries. We tried to think a little bit more towards that effort. And I know that's going to be really hard because both of us love snack food. I just like eating in general. Because I know what it's like to have to save a bagel for 4 days. So anyway, I don't even remember what I was talking about. I'm like, so I got so many things going through my mind right now. I can't even think straight, and I need a timeout. So I hope y'all have a wonderful day. I'm gonna go for a walk and try to like clear my mind. Um, and we'll kind of go from there whenever I go live again. So I hope y'all have a good day again, and behave until I see you again.